I'm going to show you 10 plays from Oregon quarterback Tyler Shough that will tell you exactly where his game is and will help you as either a quarterback, a coach, or a fan understand the game better. And it's coming up right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pawlawski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. Today I want to talk about University of Oregon quarterback Tyler Shough. You have to think about the Pac-12 conference right now with all the quarterbacks. There are 9 out of 12 quarterbacks in the conference who are either operating in a new offense or first-year starters, and some of them are first-year starters in a new offense in this strange COVID offseason where you didn't have the time to install like you'd like. And so as I look at film, I break down film around the conference, you can see a lot of that in these young quarterbacks play. I did a preview of Tyler Shough before when he was a backup, thinking that he might be the starter, and I'll put the card right up here, and I'll put the link in the comment section down below, and you can check out my offseason thoughts. I'll tell you up front, I like him, but there's a lot of things that he needs to work on in his game. There's some stuff that shows up kind of over and over, and I'll show you some of that on video here in just a second. If you haven't done it yet, and you're new to the channel, and you love football content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you get notified every time we have new stuff coming out that can help you with your game, whether you're a player, a coach, or a fan. Give us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Your thoughts on the game, college football, X's and O's, anything you want to see, let us know. And give me a thumbs up if you're ready to review Tyler Shough, University of Oregon quarterback. Make sure you share this video out. We're trying to help as many young athletes as we can, and we're trying to grow this channel so we can do that. So the more you share it out, the more young athletes are exposed to this content to help them learn the game, and the more lives we can improve. Now, let's take a look at Tyler Shough. We're going to take a look at 3 different games, several different situations, a couple different plays, where he can improve and where he's really good right now. Let's hit the film. So let's start with the tools. One of the things that I love about Tyler Shough is he has a really big arm. He can heave this ball. And so here against Stanford, game 1, he's going to get a dig route, a short comeback, and a go route to the outside. He's going to give a play action fake and then 3-step it. So he has to turn and open to his left side and then get his feet back around and drop for a 3-step. Well, total, a 3-step drop from shotgun would be a 5-step drop normally under center. But with this play action, the timing times out to about a 7-step drop. Usually when you throw the go, you're throwing the go route off of a 5-step drop. So he has to heave this ball. On top of that, he is on the right hash. His receiver is to the wide field as he runs this go route. So this is a long throw, and he ends up throwing it about 50 yards downfield in the air for the completion, play number 6 of his opening game. And just lets it rip and puts it right on the money. Perfect shot. Run that back one time because it's a thing of beauty. That is a huge throw to the field. I like the footwork, getting clean back around. Good fake. 1, 2, 3. Hitch up. Rip it. Got press coverage. Receiver getting downfield. You see that's 45 right there. 50 right where he catches it to the wide field. Makes it probably about a 60-yard throw. Now he comes up and he's getting what looks like a cover 6 or cover 8, depending on how you denote it. But flat defender here, half defender here, quarters. This turns into man, and it looks like they actually bracket as this receiver runs the shallow dig across. As this receiver actually runs the dig across the field, safety jumps him over the top. This corner ends up hard inside, playing man-to-man. You get a release with an out route, and they play man here, and this linebacker who's mugged up actually jumps out and takes the back out of the backfield. They get the shallow cross. Defender runs with him. Safety stays high. And so it's all pretty well covered. But what I want you to watch is as Shough gets back there, the dish and protection slides out to his right, and then he gets a big hole to step through. He has all this green grass, so he's really decisive, and he's crazy athletic. Now remember, the quarterback who just left Oregon is probably going to be in the Pro Bowl this year. So Justin Herbert was also athletic, but they didn't let him run as much. This time, Shough sees his opening and takes off and takes it. So he drops, front side, covered. That's covered. Man on the back right there. Checking back down to this route, but then he sees he has all kinds of green grass out here. And so he takes off with this football and gets a huge gainer. And he is fast. He can straight roll. So speed, it's one thing that offensive coordinators love in a quarterback, gives them an ability to extend plays. It's one thing defensive coordinators hate. So big arm and speed, two good things going for him. Now Oregon comes back with 20 personnel. So 2 backs, 0 tight ends, 20 personnel, and you're going to get almost exactly the same route. A bench route by number 1 on the top, and a flat route by the back out of the backfield. You're going to get double dig to the field, only this time, rather than having a shallow, their back is going to run a Texas route. Now, Shough comes off the field because these are both covered. This is young quarterback stuff. We have all done this. Rather than checking once he comes back, he predetermines he's going to come back in and hit this dig route. Well, you have to be aware as a quarterback when you're coming back to the middle of the field, there are a ton of bodies in here. And so this is a classic rookie quarterback mistake. You can see, watch him check front side. As he comes back to the middle, rather than seeing the field, he throws it. He finds his receiver, but what he forgets about is there's a lot of dudes in here. And this player is falling off. He's seeing that this is about to clear that backer. He also has to wait, and I'll show you this from the end zone, for that official. But he's not aware of that front side player, and he throws it, and Stanford makes a great play to get that interception. Here's a look from the end zone, and you can see what Shough is watching. He starts off front side to the right. They have that bench route and the flat route. He's looking front side. It's not there. He's feeling this pressure up the field, so he's going to slide a little bit. He finds his receiver. He sees that he's coming from behind, but he forgets about this guy who he just stopped looking at. And so because he's there and because he has to wait for that official, he takes an extra beat and throws to the open field, and the Stanford linebacker's right there for the pick. So just to be consistent, keeping the same play this time. 10 personnel, 1 running back, 0 tight ends. Classic 2x2 set, shrunk a little bit into the boundary. What you're going to get is a corner route trying to act as a little bit of a pick, and then a shoot route by the inside receiver. Backside, double dig again. We just talked about when you come backside, you have to be aware of what you're doing with the ball. First, let's talk about that front side read. As you get this corner over the top and the flat, you have to be aware of coverage. So they're trying to get a little rub route in here, and you can see that coming out. But this corner route is going to come free over the top. As a quarterback, you want that corner. That's your alert. If you can throw that corner route against man coverage, that's the winner. So he comes off this early. He doesn't like it. But then he tries to come right backside to the dig. They have 1 extra linebacker in here for Washington State. A lot of teams are calling this a rat coverage, meaning you leave 1 defender in the hole. And so initially this linebacker flows with Shough's eyes and then comes back to the middle as Shough looks to the backside dig. This ball should have been intercepted. Let's take a look. Slow it down. Look up top. This is your corner route. He's about to break open over the top. You've got that route beat. You should win that route. But for whatever reason, he comes off of it, comes back to the middle, and is unaware of that linebacker flowing back with his eyes. So he's releasing the ball right now, but this linebacker is already on the move towards the middle. And that ball should have been picked once, twice, and it was dropped. So both those guys, demerits. But we're seeing the same mistake by Shough, coming back inside and throwing that ball without checking the area first. So you'll see him drop, eyes to the left side. Right there, this corner is open. I'm throwing that ball over the top. But he doesn't like it. You have to be aware of what you're throwing into. You know, as a quarterback, this is heading towards this dude right here. So you can't just let that thing go. And remember, he's got a back that's coming into this window as well. Check downs are always advisable at this point. He throws the crosser, and look, if you're a linebacker, this is a dream. Driving to it, safety driving over the top, man in coverage. That's a pretty tight window to try to fit that into. Here's your throw. Linebacker misses it. Safety misses it. So, same mistake. We've seen it now twice. You have to be more aware of people in the middle of the field when you're coming back inside with the ball. You don't throw late down the middle. Check down to your back. Okay, next play. What you're going to get is mesh route. Tight end coming across shallow. Inside receiver also coming across shallow and then sitting on the curl. Number 2, on the mesh across, go route off the outside. Running back, flat and wheel on the outside. Looking to try to leverage corner secondary. As a quarterback, the way you read this is, if you get depth right now out of any of these guys, takes away that wheel, you come back inside to the mesh and the curl. Shough does a nice job here because you're going to see this right tackle just get beat ugly on the inside of avoiding pressure, coming off the wheel route, and coming back into his curl. He's going to get this guy on a climb curl here, and he's going to stick it on him. Good composure in the pocket, nice throw, good read. This is how you operate efficiently from the pocket. So snap. You can see right now, tackle getting beat ugly. He gets a little bit of width and then steps back up into the pocket. You can see the mesh starting here. Remember, sit, mesh, mesh, wheel. As that corner gets width and depth, you come off of that. You can see Shough is already coming back inside his receiver on that curl route. You have to make sure, again, that these dudes aren't getting in the way. He is jumping this under mesh. He is jumping the other mesh, and it leaves this wide open. Nice job of seeing it, moving the pocket, finding the open guy, and throwing a strike. Right, next play. What you're going to get is mesh route. Tight end coming. Here's another one. Classic young quarterback mistake. You're going to get double go on the outside. Straight drop by your quarterback. Inside receiver is going to run cross. As a quarterback, you need to be aware that if you don't throw these goes on time, or if you don't throw to that deep over on time, you need to check down to your running back. Shough is going to have his back out in the route right here wide open. These guys are all cleared off. You've got cover 0, and so they are in man-to-man. All that clears out, running back left wide alone, and Shough hangs for too long on his go routes and tries to throw the ball down the middle of the field late. We talked about that. You don't throw it in here late, and you don't throw it over here late, ever. And so as a young quarterback, you need to learn to hit your checkdowns. If you don't love the go route right now, hitch, check down to your back, and let your athletes do the work. And you can see he's looking to his left, go routes on the outside. Right here, he needs to check down. Running back is all by himself. I mean, there is tons of room if you just check this ball down. Instead, he hangs on to it for that extra beat and then tries to let it rip down the middle late. So you can see right here, he can see his back out of the backfield. Throw it. Let it rip. Give it to your back. But he throws it down the middle of the field late, and that's a way to get yourself in trouble. Now, I love this play. It's a very complex read for a quarterback, but he makes it really cleanly and delivers an accurate ball. Go route on the outside. Vertical on the inside. Vertical on the outside. So what are you saying? What's so complex about 3 vert? Well, that's not the super complex part. He's going to give a fly sweep, play action look, and then his running back is going to take that vertical seam. So really make it a 4 vertical and a trail look. Love the play design, and I love the way Shough runs it. Washington State actually ends up in a cover 2 look as this number 2 receiver to the top crosses that safety's face. He jumps it, and it leaves this alley wide open. On the snap, you're seeing those safeties rotate the 2, fly sweep, bang that inside post by number 2, crossing that safety's face, running back up the seam here, and Shough throws an absolutely beautiful football. Right on the money, into the end zone, perfectly executed. Now this is a clip from his most recent game, and I'll show you this is an out route down here to the bottom of the field. This is a timing route, which means he needs to hit his 3rd step in this shotgun snap and let this ball fly. Instead, you'll see he takes a little hitch, and when he does that, it throws off the timing between him and the receiver, and this DB can drive on it and break this up. The reason I put this in here is it shows you that he's not entirely comfortable with the chemistry and timing with his receivers yet, which is to be expected with the weird offseason. Now, they are 4 games in. He should have had a ton of reps with it, but he is not quite there yet in terms of comfort with his receivers. 1, 2, 3, should be letting it go there. Instead, he hitches, and that DB can drive. Now, it could be that he was unsure of the DB getting out in coverage. It could be that he wasn't sure when the receiver was going to break this out. Receiver does take a lot of heavy steps at the end and doesn't come out real fast, but you still have to let that fly and put it to the outside. The fact that he hitched and the fact that he didn't put that ball to the outside tells me he's not quite there with the chemistry with his receivers yet. So this is the last game. Once again, you're going to see Shough give that front side handoff, reverse, drop 3 steps, and you've got a deep out by his outside receiver. Shough does a very nice job getting his feet in the right position and then throwing an accurate football here. You can see him growing and learning as he goes and improving his game. So front side fake, 1, 2, 3. Even though he's getting hit, throws an absolute strike to the outside. So he sees it pre-snap, gets his footwork right, and gives his receiver a chance to make something happen. That's growth in a quarterback. Finally, we get back to where we started with Tyler Shough, and that is big arm mobility and the ability to throw the ball down the field. You're going to see on top here what's called a scissors concept, which is a corner and a post. Oregon State is playing, again, that cover 6 or cover 8, depending on whether your team denotes it to the Y or not. But the flat defender here, half safety here, quarters and quarters. And these can lock up, and if this crosses his face, he's got to jump it. But that doesn't happen here because they have the post coming from the top. Shough drops, and as he does, he has to climb the pocket in a hurry. He gets pressure, and he starts to escape but keeps his eyes downfield, remains a passer. When he does that, this safety overplays this corner route, and this post comes wide open. Nice drop, checking near side. Pocket closes in around him. He remains a passer. As he does that, this guy is wide open. This is the safety over the top. He overplayed it. Near side safety taking the corner on top of the smash route. So this comes open, and Shough remains a passer and throws a catchable ball on the run. That's what you need a mobile quarterback to do. That's what you need any quarterback to do. Keep the play alive, find the open man, and deliver it. That one's for 6 points. Just like any quarterback, and especially young quarterbacks, Tyler Shough obviously has some room for improvement, but he has some raw skills. As soon as he settles down in the pocket, I think he's going to be pretty special up there. And the new offense with all the RPO influence, with the quick passing game, I think is going to suit his style, especially as such a gifted athlete running the football. If you haven't done so yet and you want more football content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. Get notified every time we have new stuff coming out. Give me a thumbs up if you like what we did about Tyler Shough today, if you understand better where his game's at, and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Lastly, don't forget to share this video out. We're trying to help as many young athletes as we can, and you can help us help young athletes to get better at their game. I appreciate you watching. A little quarterback review today with a little bit of quarterback training in there as well. Hopefully, we improved your football skills, your football IQ, and helped you get better at the game.